Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I usually use the word home straight when we get into like the kind of last 10-ish games of the season. But James, we're looking at, 30 games played for some teams, 32 games played for some teams. So when I say home straight, I mean we're on the home straight here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal, 32 games played, 75 points. Manchester City, 30 games played, 70 points. So 2 games in hand on Arsenal at the moment. One of those games against Arsenal. That is what we're going to preview today. First of all, I know we can get into a lot of conversations about obviously that Southampton game and how emotional that was and stuff. But let me ask you here real quick. It's at the Etihad. This we have to call the biggest game of the season, but especially based on the context of the situation as well, what it means and what it could mean for either team if they get a result. But James, where's this game going to be won and lost for you on the pitch?
Where the game's gonna be won and lost.
Do you look at an area and you think, man, if this goes well for this team?
Yeah, I take it back to the Manchester City game when it came to the Emirates, and City didn't scare me at all. And maybe, granted, Jack, they haven't found their groove yet. But the first thing, Jack, you're gonna look at is the battle between, I think it's gonna be Rob Holding and Erling Haaland, which won't be a pretty battle. I feel like one of the best game I've seen Erling Haaland play in a Manchester City shirt at a certain point was the game against Arsenal. And to me, that ball in behind, that ball to feet, balls into the box, that's gonna be to me that's gonna be key. Another battle that, Jack, I have to look at is that 1v1 battle between Akanji and no, not Akanji, Nathan Ake and Saka. I
Right.
think the last few times Saka has been a bit anonymous against Manchester City, but one of the reasons behind that is the fact that, let's be truthfully honest, Nathan Ake has had Saka's number. Granted, Saka scored a penalty, but based on the rest of the performance, it wasn't outstanding. It wasn't great. So I look at them two areas, and like I look at how, to me, like where the game could possibly be won and lost for Arsenal, because we know how important like the like Bukayo Saka is. Secondly, I want to know what Arsenal's approach is. Is it to go out in the first 20 minutes and try and blitz Manchester City, knowing that, if we do go punch for punch in Manchester City, the game could get taken away from us, or do we approach it with a bit of a caution and not let the game get away from us in the first 25 minutes and kind of go from there? Think about it. Do we want to keep it 0-0 going into the second half, where we know that if we kind of put our foot on the gas, we'll have a better chance of like taking over against Manchester City? But so many different avenues to look at, but.
But let me ask you
Go on,
this as well then. Let me ask you this as well. Emotional game, bad dropping of points against bottom of the table at home. Is that going to benefit Arsenal because they're going to come out of the gates with a point to prove and that they want to make things right? Or is it going to damage the spirit a little bit? Is the morale in the team going to be a little bit on a downward spiral now and a downward trajectory? Is it a benefit what happened against Southampton, or is that going to be a negative?
I don't know, Jack. I really don't have that question. I would have had a better, clear answer if there was a winner and a loser in the
Right.
Southampton game, because as much as like I can say that, okay, the emotions kind of got to the team, which it did, Jack. The fact that you're 3-1 down, like against Southampton, I get it. But you did see that rally back. You like think about it. You did see that fight, which shows you that the occasion isn't big for them, and like they can rise in like certain points. But in this situation now, against this sort of team, who, Jack, when you look at Manchester City's history in the Premier League, Jack, they're built for these moments. You
Right.
look at it, 18-19 season, where like they got 38 points, Jack. The pivotal game was that 2-1 victory at the Etihad against Liverpool. And Jack, the rest of it, I think they went on to win 11 games straight. Last season, Jack, I think they didn't drop points, I think, after like the 20th game or something like that. I mean, like they didn't lose a game. They would just rather draw, or just like 14 like or just like 14 straight wins. So Manchester City, Jack, they know how to get this done. They know how to play the occasion. My thing is this: how do Arsenal approach this occasion? Because, Jack, let's be truthfully honest, this team hasn't sort of felt that sort of atmosphere before.
No.
now going away from home with a team who've done this about 100 times, players who know what it is, and as I mentioned, now they were strong before. Now they're even stronger with that bully like up top. So granted, right now it's pointing only one way,
Right.
which is that Manchester City way. But my biggest hope and my only thing that's going to give me a bit of belief, it's football. And stranger things have happened.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, we Gary Neville said it right. If somebody came to me at the start of the season and told me that, James, Arsenal basically need to go to Etihad to take control of a title race at the start of the season, would I have taken it? I would have bitten your hand off for it.
Right, of course.
But knowing the circumstance of this season, it isn't great. But Jack, you should play for these moments. Think about it. You go to the Etihad and win. Granted, it's tough, it's difficult. I think they've lost one game all season. I get it. But wouldn't you not take it? Wouldn't you not want that opportunity? And granted, Jack, if we do go on to do it, there's no reason why we won't go on to win the rest of our like our games and win the title. Yes, the last 3 games have been an absolute disaster, and I can go into a rabbit hole of the history under Mikel Arteta as Arsenal manager. But basing it on this one game, let's have it. Let's go for it.
Well,
Play
you're
with no
right.
fear. You lose, you lose.
You're right. There's like, to a certain extent, are you going to not make top 4, James?
No,
No, of
no, we're
course. So
obviously going to
why?
make
So
top.
so absolutely go for it. Play with confidence. Take risks. Absolutely go for it. You're trying to beat the best team in the league, maybe the best team in Europe,
Best
maybe the
team in
best
the
team in the
world.
world. So you have to go out and you have to take risks. Final question for you. Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta, they know each other very, very well. I made this point in my initial reaction after the Arsenal-Southampton game where I just kind of went down a little bit of my own rabbit hole, right? Is Pep Guardiola, when he was coaching and teaching Mikel Arteta about the nuances of the role, is he kept anything to himself? Or do you think Arteta knows all the tricks in the book from Pep Guardiola?
Jack, Pep's evolving every single day. He's
This was
evolving
my
every single
thought.
day, Jack.
Right.
You know, as is the Pep Guardiola from 2 years ago isn't the Pep Guardiola that I'm thinking about it that we know today. This guy watches different sports. This guy watches football from years ago and tries to find new ideas to evolve. The fact that he's now gone to like in possession, he's gone to the back three with the think about it with the two fullbacks tucking inside and having John Stones drop it in there. I'm thinking, what is this? As great as Arteta has been for like Arsenal this season, he hasn't came up with something like that. Pep's Jack, that's a crazy mind. You
Yes.
know, if you could it, there's probably rainbows and flowers, and you just poison loads of stuff going on in Pep Guardiola's mind. So
Right.
I don't think Guardiola's figured. I don't think Arteta's figured Guardiola out. But I don't think Guardiola's figured like Arteta out because there's plenty different sort of methods that I think I think Arteta can bring to it. The biggest thing for me, Jack, is that I think the players are going to matter. The quality of like the players. When you look at KDB, killer, yeah, and who always has a great game against Arsenal. Erling Haaland, who's I think Jack, if he scores one more goal, he breaks a Premier League record. You
I'd
know,
I'd feel so
yeah,
much
Bernardo
more
Silva.
I'd feel so much more comfortable if it was Saliba and Gabriel, because part of me would kind
100%.
of be like, you know what? Like, these are athletic, strong, like these guys aren't gonna like just be bossed around. Rob Holding, there just does feel a little bit like if Holding's gonna make a decision between Gabriel and Holding, you know where he's gonna try and play off.
Okay, Jack, let me drop the pressing stat for all Arsenal fans. Yeah. Since Pep Guardiola has been a Premier League manager, which was the 2016-17 season, I think Arsenal have only been able to pick up one draw against him in that time. We are currently on an 11-match losing streak in the Premier League. Yeah,
Yeah.
granted, I think we've beaten them twice in like FA Cup finals, but in the Premier League, Jack, it's been messy. We've lost 11 straight games against them, and I think Jack, the goal difference in that time is I think we've probably scored like 4 or 5 goals
Also, I know we've brought this up earlier in the season. The winningest team on a
on a
specific day,
on a Wednesday
it's
is
Man
Manchester City.
City on a Wednesday, and again they're at home. I know a lot of stuff's not pointing the right way, but James, I think you make the right point. What have Arsenal got to lose here? They're not getting
Nothing.
relegated. They're not losing out on Champions League football. Like, again, go for it.
Jack, the thing about streaks is that majority of streaks, all streaks got to come to an end at some point.
True.
Ask Undertaker that. And can we finally be that Brock Lesnar that breaks this streak? I really do hope so. But Jack, as you said, with all the stats, everything is pointing towards the Manchester City win. But football is a very strange game.
It is. It's a funny old game. With that in mind, prediction. And again, you can give me your fan prediction, or you can give me a realistic prediction. Whatever you want to put out there into the world, I want to know what you think.
Manchester City 3-1.
I got the exact same score. Yeah.
I was gonna say 4. It could be 4. Let's go 4-1. I feel like if they catch us in the cage and just get to us, they can really just put a dagger to our chest. But yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've got City scoring 3 straight away, and then I think Arsenal get 1 late, and it's just kind of a, here we go kind of thing. Ladies and gentlemen, at home, let me know what you think is going to happen. I hope you have enjoyed this Manchester City versus Arsenal preview. Again, this is the biggest fixture of the year, just the way the season has gone. So again, let us know where you're going to be watching it from. Let us know what you think the score is going to be. Anything that you think is going to be worth keeping an eye on as well. Drop a like on the video if you like what you've seen as well. Hit that subscribe button as well if you're not already. And from me and James, we will see you next time.